So look what I did. I wrote the problem over again because this is for step 2 and this is for step 3. Okay, so what are we trying to do now? We want to find the new numerator. So let's see. 8 times 10, 8 times 5 is 40. So 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, see how I got that? I just multiplied. I multiplied this. I had to times this by 5. So I have to times this one by 5. I'm kind of going backwards. All right, or you could divide. This way, next one, 10 times 4 is 40. 7 times 4 is 28. So that's how I find the numerators. I just multiplied. 8 times 5, so 5 times 5. 10 times 4, so you have to use the same number. 7 times 4. Okay, now I can compare the two. This is 25, and because they have the same denominator. This is 25, and this is 28. So is 25 less than, more than, or equal? The answer is less than. Okay, 25 is less than 28. As long as the denominators are equal, you can look at the numerators. So that means our answer is less than, and that's how we find it. So I'll just leave it blank like that, so that way when you're at a test or forgot to do it, you can just glance at this and look at it. Okay, I'm going to do one more example just like this, following these 3 steps. So, well, they have different denominators, so I have to find out what the least common multiple is. So let's see, what number does 3 and 4 both fit into? What are they factors of? Let's see, 3 goes into, let's see, I'll count by 4s. There's 4. You know, I'll put it right down here. There's 4. Does 3 go into that? No. 8. Does 3 go into that? No. There's 12. Does 3 go into that? Yes. So that is our least common multiple. So I'll put that right down here. Again, you don't have to write them out. You can do it mentally. It's fine. So 12 is our least common multiple. So now I have to find our numerator. So see that? We found our least common multiple. Use that for a new denominator. I just did. Next, I need to multiply for the new numerator. So let's see. 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 2. So I'm going to put a little 4 there. 3 times 4 is, 3 times 4 is 12. So 2 times 4 is 8. That's our new numerator. On the other side, we have 4 times something is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to use the same number, 3, on the top. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? So whatever number you use on the bottom to get the denominator, you also have to use on the top. Alright, so now I compare the two. I have 8 and 9. See, the denominators are the same. So you're comparing 8 and 9. So if I compare those, 8 is less than. And that's how we do that. Okay, so far we went over some terms. We went over comparing. And now we're doing ordering. Because remember, our title was compare and order. So now we'll do some ordering down at the bottom. Ordering. Now what we're going to do is we're going to order from least to greatest. Least to greatest. Smallest to largest. So we'll do an example with the denominators the same, and then we'll make it where they're different. So we have 7 nines, 3 nines, and 5 nines. Now what we need to do is order these from least to greatest. Okay, well first of all, they all have the denominator of 9. I'll just put it up here, down here. Okay, and so which one's the smallest out of these? 7, 3, or 5? 3 is. So I will put, that's the smallest. Okay, and then the next biggest would be 5. 5 ninths. And the next largest would be 7. And by the way, notice that 3/9 is smaller than 5/9. If it's smaller, look at this. I can use a less than symbol. And 5/9 is smaller than 7/9. So sometimes you'll see this, when they put two less than symbols in there. Okay, so our last example. This time we have three fractions with different denominators, and we want to order these from least to greatest. So it's probably a little easier if I wrote them over to the side. 2/3, 3/5, and 3/4. Okay, our first step is to find the least common multiple of 3, 5, and 4. So let me have you guys write this down. 2/3, 3/5, 3/4, and we need to find the least common multiple. The number down here in the denominator, new denominator. So to do that, we have to decide what numbers will 3, 5, and 4 fit into. Let's take our biggest numbers, our two biggest numbers, and let's multiply them out. Let's see. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm just going to write that right down here. And will 3 go into 20? No. I know 5 does and I know 4 does, but not 3. Okay, let's try another number. Let's try, well, it'd have to be 40. It'd have to be a multiple of this. 40. I know 5 goes into 40. I know 4 goes into 40. Does 3 go into 40? No. So let's try another number. How about 60? Does 5 goes into 60, 4 goes into 60, 15 times, and 3 goes into 60, because if I add the digits, 6 and 0, so that works out. So I believe 60 is our least common multiple. By the way, instead of 5 and 4, I could have chose 5 times 3, 15. I could have counted by 15s. There's 15, 15 more makes 30, 4 doesn't go into there. 15 more makes 45, and 4 doesn't go in there, but the next one would be 60. And see, they do go into 60. 60 is the least common multiple of all three of these. So that will be my least common denominator also, 60. So let's see now, we need our top numbers now so we can compare them. We need our numerators. So doing that, let's see, 3 times something is 60. 3 times 20. 3 times 20. So you know what? I need to put that same number up on top, 20. 2 times 20 is 40. So whatever you multiply to get the bottom, you have to multiply to get the top. New number. 5 times something is 60. 5 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. So you know what? The same number put on top. 3 times 12 is 36. So then the next one. 4 times something is 60. 4 times 15 is 60. So I'll use that same number. 3 times 15 is 45. All right, so now see, I have the same denominator, and now I just look at the top numbers, the numerators, and compare them. So now let's write the smallest one is going to be 36. This will be our smallest one. So which one does that go to? Which fraction? That goes to 3/5. So this would be my smallest, I could say, my first one. So I'll just write that over here. That would be 3/5. That's my smallest. Okay, and that is less than, let's see, what's the second smallest here? This one right here. This would be the second smallest. 40 over 60, that goes with 2/3. And then the last one must be the smallest. Let's see, we have 2/3, we have 3/5, so it must be 3/4. Not the smallest, but that's actually the largest. 45 over 60 is the largest. That goes with 3/4. And there we go.